Good day. Welcome to our series of Off the Beaten Path. I am so excited today to have my very special guest, Andrea from Windstar Cruises. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Susan. You're excited. I'm even more excited to be here with you today and share this information. So thank you for having me.
Oh, you bet. So this series is on off the beaten path. So destinations that people maybe haven't thought of before or weren't even aware that you could get into. And your small ships help people get in there.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about. And I'm going to share with your guests today how we are truly 180 degrees from ordinary and taking guests into those different, unique, off the beaten path places.
Awesome. Should we get started? I am
Let's
so
get
excited.
started. So
All
I'm
right.
going to share my screen.
You are, absolutely.
I am. And let's get started from the beginning. And here we go. That's not. Let's get started from the beginning. There we go.
There you go.
So Susan, again, thank you so very much for having me here. And as a strong and preferred partner with Expedia Cruises, we are only too delighted to be working with you today and sharing this information for your clients. And I'm excited today. My name is Andrea Mendelsohn, and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Canada. I'm excited today to be able to share with you and your clients, of course, how Windstar Cruises is truly 180 degrees from ordinary. And I often say to people, so many people say, well, I did a 360. What does that mean? It means you started at point A and you end up back at point A. But doing 180 degrees is, of course, taking you in that completely different direction. Windstar Cruises is a small cruise line. We've got 6 beautiful ships. 3 of them that you can see on the right-hand side of your screen are beautiful sailing ships. And then we have 3 of what we call our power yachts. Irrespective of the ship that you go on, the experience is still going to be that true, unique, 180 degree from ordinary Windstar experience. But I want to share with you today how we truly get our guests to places that you're not going to see, the crowds and the big other cruise ships that we're able to truly, as you say, Susan, go into off the beaten path places. This is a picture on a Windstar ship going into Alaska. This is the 𝘽𝙖𝙩𝙗 Glacier. And you can see that we are on our own. There are not thousands of people. And that's truly what makes Windstar so unique. We believe we're taking guests in a different direction. And what does that mean? Because we're so small, we're able to go and navigate into these small little bays, these small little harbors, these little motus that you simply would not see a big cruise ship. So we're truly able to take guests into different places, captivating places. Let me use this phrase again, off the beaten path places that you simply cannot get to on a big ship. And no doubt we are going to go to some of the same destinations that the big ships go to. Invariably, Susan, they're going to be docked way, way out, and your guests are going to be tendering in for a long time. Whereas with Windstar, because we can get right into the destination, very often dock right in port, if not right in port, very close to it. So it's a very short tender ride into the destination and back again. So it's not these long days of tendering back and forth and getting into a destination and checking it off your bucket list to prove you were there, taking a quick picture, buying a souvenir to prove again that you were there, and then standing in line to get into the tender. We often get in early in the morning. We often leave late at night. Many times we have overnights so that your guests can get that true, immersive and authentic experience in each of the beautiful destinations we go to. Talk about off the beaten path. Now this is, for those of you who don't know, this is the Celsus Library in Ephesus, Turkey. And we take our guests here when we go to 𝘽𝙚𝙖𝙩𝙝. This is combined when we do our ever popular Greek destinations. Greece for us is our most popular destination, believe it or not. And we combine it not only with the Corinth Canal on some of our itineraries, but when we do go to Turkey, we go to 𝘽𝙚𝙖𝙩𝙝. When all the day guests, Susan, have left this ancient ruin, we invite guests to our destination discovery event. It's a complimentary event where we do a white glove service, dinner, 5-course meal. You can see there's a string quartet playing in the background. This ancient ruin is lit up, and this is one of those true unique experiences that we give on our Windstar cruises. The good news is now when we go back to doing Turkey, we're going to include Istanbul, which is a fabulous, fabulous destination as well. I spoke about going through the Corinth Canal. We like to say at Windstar, no one goes so far to get you so close. And honestly, you can just well imagine and see for yourselves. There is no ways a huge, big cruise ship could get into this Corinth Canal. That's for small little ships and ships like Windstar, where you're in the experience. So if you want that authentic experience and not just taking pictures from the top of a ship looking down, this is what those unique experiences, 180 degrees, are all about. And this is what we do. We get you to see what you set out to see in the first place. A good example of this always reminds me, when we do our Spain, Portugal, and Morocco itineraries, we go to a place in Morocco called Agadir. There's a little shore excursion where we take guests to go and see goats in trees. These little goats climb up in trees. Can you imagine if you had to take a huge ship there with thousands of people or even hundreds of people wanting to see the sight? The goats would scatter. You would not see anything. So with our small little shore excursions and our few people that we take each time, guests are going to experience that authentic, off the beaten path experience that they set out to see in the first place. We are truly going to create memories for your guests that are hopefully going to last a lifetime. And we also believe that we're for travelers, not for tourists. So of course we're going to go to those main tourist areas and destinations. But again, going into really around the corner where the big ships dock, we're going to be in those little places and unique places that are truly unique just for Windstar guests. So again, we're for those travelers out there, not for those tourists just snapping pictures, I was here. So let me go into a little bit more detail of how we truly are 180 degrees from ordinary. And what I'd like to do here is just to share with your guests a short little video talking about our 6 ships and the destinations that we go to. So enjoy, and I'm going to come back after this.
I'm 𝘽𝙚𝙖𝙩𝙚. I'm the captain of Star Legend. I've been at sea for all of my life. We have 6 ships, 3 of them are sail, 3 of them are motor. Once you're on board, you're going to have the same Windstar experience no matter which ship you're on. The Windstar experience is this fabulous little close community, an environment where people not only enjoy their holiday, but there's a huge amount of social interaction between everybody. The significant thing with Windstar is that we get to some of the smaller out-of-the-way places, and those smaller out-of-the-way places can be somewhere that's difficult to get to. The nice thing with a shallow draft vessel like this is we can take her along many of the longer rivers and canals to get her to some of those places that the big ships obviously cannot access. All of the ships feature a water sports platform. We visit some fabulous little bays. We put the anchor down, we put the water sports platform down. We have an open bridge policy, which means the passengers will come and visit me on the bridge. They will ask me all sorts of questions about where we are, what's on the chart, how does the radar work. All of these questions we're more than happy to answer. It's a very rare thing these days to be able to have access to the bridge. Windstar are quite unusual in permitting that. Here on board, of course, we're delighted that we can do it. It's a great pleasure to be able to welcome the guests onto the bridge. We have a very close relationship with our passengers. We get to know their names, we get to know what their favourite drinks are, the waiters get to know what their requirements are in the restaurant and so on. And so we are noted for having perhaps the friendliest cruise at sea. I have to say that it is the best experience that I've had at sea. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I hope that I'm able to pass that joy onto the passengers, because it really is a wonderful experience here on Windstar.
So thank you, Captain Neil, and I'm going to elaborate on that, Susan. But, you know, talking about being on Windstar, everybody's on a vacation. You've earned this time, you've looked forward to it, and I hope that's what your guests are doing. We're just dangling the carrot for now until we can all start traveling again. But let me talk about that true, if you will, unique experience on board. Who wants to be in Tahiti? Who wants to be in Greece? Who wants to be in Alaska? All dressed up. Yes, but all dressed up. You want that relaxed experience, and we cater to guests in understated elegance. No dressing up, no jackets or ties, no formalized dinner times. This is all relaxed. So for our main dining room, you don't need to make a reservation. How nice to be in one of these unique destinations, having a wonderful time and not have to think to yourself, oh my word, my first sitting is at 6:30. I've got to dash back from where I am, stand in line for the tender, get back to the ship, change so that I'm in time to eat my dinner. Don't do that. Have a wonderful time in the destination. Come back at your leisure. You want a table for two, or you've met some wonderful friends, you now want to have a table for 6 or 8, we can accommodate guests. Men can go in khakis or dark jeans and a short sleeve golf shirt. We can go in the relaxed pair of pants and a nice top. None of this formal nights, and nobody really wants that anymore. Not to mention you can't carry it in your baggage. We are all about those relaxed days. And you heard me make mention that very often we'll dock right in port or very close to the port. Nobody has to get up early in the morning and be the first to stand in line for the tender, or get up early in the morning and draw the short straw and go and put your towel on the deck chair to save space. We've got room for everybody. Wake up at your leisure, have a nice leisurely breakfast, go in, see the sights, do shopping, come back, and then maybe participate and take advantage of all our water sports activities, which are complimentary for all our guests on a first come, first served basis. So it's really about that relaxed, unregimented experience on Windstar Cruises. And of course, because we're small, that freedom from crowds. And let's be honest, before even COVID, Windstar has our unique selling point, which is that small experience, that small yacht-like, private yacht-like experience, if you will, where there's no jostling for space, no elbowing your way. We've got room for everybody. In order to be classified or categorized as a small ship cruise line, Susan, we have to have less than 350 guests. So you can see when I talk about the ships that our biggest ship only takes 342 guests. So we definitely come in, maybe just squeak in, but we're in the small ship category. And you have that one-on-one experience with the crew, with the captains, with whoever you want to, and it's a wonderful ambiance on board. You're traveling with like-minded people. And how are we able to get to know? You heard Captain Neil saying, how are we able to get to know our guests? We have a ratio of crew to guest 1 to 1.5. And I always make the joke, I know there's no such thing as 1.5 people, but just think of that in terms of exemplary service. We've got one crew member to every 1.5 guests. So we get to know our guests' names. We get to know their preferences by day 2. On Windstar, nobody is just a number. You're a somebody to us. How important does that make you feel? We want people to feel as if you're on your own private yacht. And what better way than by getting to know you and your preferences? So I'm sure your guests have seen and watched many, many presentations or been to many shows. That all the cruise lines, all the coach companies are all going to say, we've got the best food. Nobody's going to say, our food is mediocre. Our food is absolutely excellent. And we have a partnership, a unique, long-standing exclusive partnership with the James Beard Foundation. So this is an organization that recognizes top chefs, top sommeliers, top mixologists. They have come on and trained our crew to create these wonderful, enticing meals that we offer, obviously, at all our restaurants on all our menus. So the food is absolutely spectacular. Here's another close-up picture of Captain Neil. Again, it sounds like I'm saying Captain and Neil, but Captain Neil, we do have this open bridge policy. And again, how do you feel like you're on your own private yacht if there's red tape and yellow tape and you simply can't come in here? We invite people to come in, go and have coffee with a captain in the morning or while we're sailing under the stars at night. Understandably now, with all health and safety protocols, we're going to limit any number of people going at any one time, but it's still available and we want people to take advantage of that. We spoke about the water sports platform. When we don't dock right in port and the waters are warm and calm, we're able to lower and take advantage. Guests can take advantage of coming back. It's on a first come, first served basis. It's complimentary except for scuba diving, because then we'd have to get a PADI certified diver. But, you know, for those people that think, well, this is a little too energetic for me, I'm not going to ski, I'm not going to paddleboard. We have flotation mattresses. You can just lie at your leisure. It is just wonderful. And I'd really encourage clients and guests to come and do this. So very briefly, just again, to show you what we're all about, I want to talk about our fleet very quickly. Our Windsurf is our beautiful, she's our flagship, beautiful. She's the largest sailing vessel in the world. She's ours, and you can see these beautiful sails. And I must inform your guests that when people go on a sailing experience on Windstar, it's still a cruising experience. Nobody stands barefoot on deck and helps raise the sails. Our guests stand with a cocktail in their hand, and our sails hydraulically unfurl, and we sail off with this beautiful music to the next unique destination. Now, all our ships that have the word wind in front of them are going to be these sailing ships. And you are going to notice, or your guests will notice, that they are portholes. There are no balconies on these ships, and that's by design. You can't have it. But I really want to shout out to everybody and say, once Susan and her team encourage you to sail on Windstar, don't turn around and say, I simply have to have a balcony. Don't forgo a unique experience, an amazing vacation, going to places that you probably wouldn't find on other cruise lines because there isn't a balcony. Make the deck your balcony. We don't spend many days at sea. We have very few at sea days. For the most part, you're going to be in port. But on those days that you want to relax and want to be on deck, grab 2 deck chairs. If you're traveling with friends, grab 4 deck chairs. Make that your balcony, but don't not go on these unique experiences because our 2 smaller sailing ships, the Windstar and the Windspirit, only take 148 guests. With the ratio of crew to guests that I mentioned, there's 101 crew for 148 guests. Talk about being on your own private yacht. Now, these sailing ships we deploy very cleverly to warmer climates. So you're going to find them in the Caribbean, Costa Rica, Panama Canal, the Greek Isles, warmer climates, because they don't do that well in colder climates. And that is why we've got our beautiful, what we call our star ships. We like to say no star shines so bright as our Star Breeze, our Star Pride, and our Star Legend. These are 3 sister ships, and we purchased them from a luxury cruise line, Seabourn. They could accommodate 212 guests. Susan, I'm sure you've heard about our $250 million Star Plus initiative that has been all over the news. And what this is quite remarkable. We've started with the Star Breeze, and she's already been completed. We're now doing the Star Legend, currently now in a dockyard in Sicily, in Palermo, Sicily. And what we're doing is we're splitting the ships, stretching them, and as you can see here, adding in an 84-foot prefabricated section that will give us an additional capacity of 50 suites for 100 guests, so that when these ships sail out, they will have now 312 guests. Obviously, we're going to increase the number of crew on board. We have changed everything from the engines to every single washroom to the spa to the retail outlet. Everything has been changed. We have actually added 2 new restaurants that I'll talk about. This is in the midst of her refurbishment, the Star Breeze, because she's already been put back together again and looks as beautiful as this. So talk about off the beaten path, Susan. You know, people were saying what we love about Windstar is the unique smallness. You know, are we still going to go to the same places that are so unique to Windstar? And absolutely yes, because we haven't widened the ships, we've lengthened them. So we can still go into the little canals and all these little unique places that those big ships can't go to. So very briefly, I just want to tempt everybody again and let you know that whilst I'm not going to talk about every destination that we go to, I truly encourage you to go back to Expedia Cruises and speak to the team there and find out where we go and what we have to offer. But we have a very robust portfolio of destinations, and you might be thinking, 6 little ships, where could they possibly go? Well, let me show you just a few examples. You heard me talk about in Greece going through the Corinth Canal. How could you ever imagine a huge big ship doing this? So this is one of the destinations, Greece, Turkey, going through the Corinth Canal. Here's our captain with a crew. Look, it looks as, honestly, as I say, you can put your hands out and touch the sides. That's what makes it so unique. Going to beautiful places like Santorini. Just look at these exquisite places. But have you heard of going to Bodrum on a big cruise ship? Probably not. Kushadasi, beautiful places where that's where you saw we do that beautiful destination discovery event. I love saying this name, Chanakale. Not many people are able to go to these off the beaten path places that Windstar takes. As I mentioned, we're going to Istanbul, a beautiful city. Something new and exciting when we start sailing again, we're going to include Israel, Cyprus, and Egypt. And we're going to go once to Athens, and we're going to end up in Athens. But this is a new exciting destination, footsteps of faith in the Holy Land. Iceland. Who would think? This is a very expensive country and destination, as you know. You know, it's really a huge juxtaposition of the geothermal waters and the volcanic rocks and the wildlife there. Very expensive to go to. We're able to take guests around the whole of Iceland, from Reykjavik to Reykjavik, seeing all these amazing sights. This is the Gothafoss Falls, just beautiful nature, and we get you there in the comfort of a ship. You're eating your meals on the ship, so you're not going to have to worry about accommodation and those expensive meals. Let me quickly talk about Alaska. I know it's kind of at your neck of the woods, but what a unique experience to do it. And I want to talk about it because I did it myself. I'm going to very quickly show a little bit of this destination just to give your guests the feel of what we offer and show you a few more exciting things.
Are we ready to go to Alaska? Small and intimate aren't two words usually used to describe a cruise ship, but when it comes to Seattle-based Windstar Cruises, it's anything but ordinary. In fact, it's 180 degrees from ordinary. From the moment you step on board to the time you sail away, you realize this is going to be a unique vacation.
When you were looking at other cruises to Alaska, no doubt you chose Windstar.
We didn't look at any. We just chose Windstar.
From boarding zodiacs and misty fjords to kayaking through glaciers, it's a surreal experience and one that puts you closer to Alaska like never before.
Quite breathtakingly beautiful.
Spectacular. The small ship feeling. It's that intimacy. It's that friendliness. It's everybody knowing everyone else and greeting them that way. That's what it's all about. That's what gets people excited.
The Star Legend holds.
So I hope that everybody got that feel. And truly, I want to talk about what we do on Windstar is, Susan, we travel with 6 expedition experts while we go to Alaska. They range from glaciologists, botanists, wildlife photographers, really experts in their field. And this is how truly up close and personal we get to the experience. There's no other cruise ships, there's no other people in sight. And what we do, I spoke about our water sports platform. We lower the water sports platform in these cold, icy waters, and we launch our kayak and zodiac expeditions right off the back of the ship. So it's quite a remarkable experience. This is a true picture of Windstar in Alaska. And here I'm at the 𝘽𝙧 Glacier, really right up there. And I want to share with your guests just a little experience of what I had being right there. Wait for it. It's coming.
Wow.
So you can hear we go right up there in the area, right close to this all happening.
That's amazing. Talk about
Isn't that just incredible? And this is what we truly do in the destinations. We have an all-year-round program for your clients and guests that want that exotic experience in this romantic destination. We have an all-year-round program in Tahiti. We do the Society Islands and the Tuamotu Islands. Did I mention Costa Rica and Panama Canal? I was fortunate enough to do that experience. And albeit the fact that going through the Panama Canal is only one day, you are again in that experience. The ship rises and falls when the locks open. Behind us was another huge cruise ship, and there were guests, I'm sure, who had a phenomenal time. They were leaning over the banisters, looking down at this remarkable engineering feat. They weren't in the experience like we were, and that's that 180 degrees difference. The Caribbean, well, I know that you go probably to Arizona and warmer climates, but don't discount the Caribbean. I'm sure many of your guests have said, oh, Susan and your team, how many more times to go from Miami to Fort Lauderdale and a private island? Look at the places that Windstar goes to. Virgin Gorda, Jost van Dyke, St. Bart's, Bequia, Little Bay, Montserrat, places again that you don't hear of those other big ships going to. So it truly is a different experience. And if you've done Caribbean, I'm going to hazard a guess, you haven't done Windstar's Caribbean. I spoke briefly about our beautiful itineraries to Spain, Portugal, Morocco, when I spoke about Agadir, but we do Tenerife, Lanzarote. Again, these little places that you probably wouldn't get to unless you're doing a coach tour and driving on the windy roads all the way up to these destinations. So very quickly, I hope I've again just set the tone. I've gotten your guests excited about Windstar Cruises, but they might be wondering, well, who's the typical Windstar guest? And let me say, everybody, of course, is welcome on Windstar. I will, however, say that because we're small, we don't confirm children under the age of 8 because we don't offer children's meals or kids programs or children's entertainment. But you'll certainly find a young couple that may have said to their in-laws or their parents, look after the grandchildren, we're going on Windstar. So again, everybody is welcome. But it is truly for those guests who want that intimate experience, that very unpretentious experience, if you will. No standing on ceremony, no getting all dressed up. People looking for that true, authentic, immersive experience in the destination. And for clients, many of whom I'm sure have been on a river cruise and want that intimate small ship experience, we're on the ocean. We're not on the rivers, but it is kind of like that small ship experience. So just to give you a little taste, all these things are part of Windstar. And no matter which cruise ship you come on, we are waiting for you. Your ship has arrived, whether it's the sailing ship or whether it's our star class ships. We are looking to welcome you on board when cruising starts up again. And Susan, I just want to thank you so much for inviting me here today. And I hope we have a very, very fruitful partnership to continue in the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was an amazing presentation. I know that I want to go to some of those destinations that you really don't hear about. And you're right, they are really hard to get to. And even if you can get to them, the unique experiences that you get to experience when you get there is the reason why most of us love to travel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was amazing. So I'm just going to stop sharing, I hope, so everybody can see us. There we go. So thank you very much, Andrea, for taking your time. You're a busy lady. You have, you look after all of Canada. So thank you very much for spending the time. And for everybody, if you are interested in anything Windstar related, our team of experts know everything about it. They are ready to help you figure it all out. Sailings are selling out quickly. People are anxious to get out there in 2022. And then of course, when 2023 becomes available. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Yeah, and thank you for joining us on our Off the Beaten Path series. And until next time, stay safe. And we'll look forward to talking to you again. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.